Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Whatever time you're watching this, thanks for watching Common Sense Talks. Now I'm going to jump right into today's video. You guys want proof? I'm going to show you proof that Donald Trump was right and that basically the coronavirus kill rate sits right now at 0.1 to 0.3% right now that we know of. Maybe a little higher, may actually be a little lower. The common flu is 0.1%. Let that sink in for a moment. Well, how do you say, Sam? I'm going to show you guys. Give me just a moment. Let's follow some facts. We're going to keep this short and sweet. We're going to look at this first story coming out of the Washington Post, and this is recent. This is only like so many days old here. As U.S. coronavirus fatality rate rises to 5%, experts are still trying to understand how deadly this virus is, right? And you get into here, they're talking about 5,000, or not 5,000, they're talking about 5% kill rate. Close this down. You know, they go into basically fear-mongering, if you look here. So it's pretty scary what they're trying to do. They're trying to scare us into letting them get away with murder, basically. Now, follow me here. So right now, we're thinking the kill rate sits anywhere from 3 to 5%. This story is from the Times in March. Now, what this is going to show you is it's going to show you, one, that Trump was right. It's going to show you, two, that the doctors were wrong. It's going to show you, three, that the media is anti-Trump at all costs. And it's going to show you the media hypocrisy and lies. Then I'm going to do a search to show you what's going on. Now, back in March 9th, do you remember the media at the beginning was downplaying the coronavirus? When Trump was trying to get serious with it and did a ban in January and did all that stuff early on, in February, late February, you had Nancy Pelosi introducing the No Ban Act, trying to prevent a travel ban and talking about go out and party in large groups. And there's a lot of people saying this, right, on TV while Trump was doing the travel ban. And he said that let's get into what he said. I'll let his words speak for itself, right? So nobody had ever seen the coronavirus that causes the disease known as COVID-19 before the current outbreak began in China in December 2019. So for context, it is often compared to a symptomatically similar disease we know well, the seasonal flu, which infects many people each year, but kills only about 0.1% of them on average. So that's where we're going to start. Now, many people were alarmed, right, when the World Health Organization announced in March that COVID-19 has killed 3.4% of the people who have caught it so far. So we're going to skip through some of this here and jump over here to this part. Since the COVID-19 outbreak began to pick up steam in China in January, experts have been scrambling to get a handle on the disease and the way it behaves. But they have also warned that estimates are not exact and that numbers are likely to shift over time. Notice in the news story it's gone up, right? The numbers are likely to shift over time. One key reason: people with milder versions of the illness are underrepresented in official case counts, since they may not be sick enough to seek medical attention or realize they have anything more than a cold. And let's not forget what the story is leaving out, that at least 20% of people who get it that are asymptomatic and show no symptoms. And let's also remember the official count only tallies those tested. So how many people out there thought they had a cold, thought they had the mild flu, thought they had the sniffles or whatever, or didn't realize they had anything, have it, but weren't tested, right? So some people, research now suggests, may get infected by SARS-CoV-2, the virus that caused COVID-19, without showing any symptoms at all, right? So that means the total number of reported cases is very likely an underestimate. And by not counting many mild or asymptomatic cases, we're likely overestimating the disease's overall mortality rate. Listen up here. President Donald Trump, for one, told Fox News he has a hunch that the actual mortality rate is likely below 1%. Boom! Trump was right. Now, is it a conspiracy if he knew it was 1%? Did he really know? Is it a hunch? Or did the people in charge really know that the rate is as low as it is? And are they closing the economy and doing all this on purpose? Who knows? Or is that just a tinfoil conspiracy theory? Point is, he called it right, though, that the mortality rate is below 0.1%. Now, you skip to one of today's one of the more recent ones, they're fear-mongering and saying that it's up to 5%. So that's showing you that when Trump was trying to be hard on the coronavirus, the media was telling us they were looking for facts, and they found some and put it out there like, hey, don't be worried, it's not a big deal. Now, as soon as Trump starts talking about opening up the economy and stuff like, now the media is like, no, 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 it's going to come back in the fall, it's going to get us. And nobody's also talking about the fact that this virus, now that it's here, will never go away. Trump says it might. No, they don't. They either morph or change, or they just keep coming around, right? And then they adapt and they change to different versions. They mutate. Okay, so they don't just go away. The bubonic plague's still around. All kinds of those viruses and things, they're still here. Just we either have immunities to them now, or we have vaccines for them. So eventually we all have to either catch it or get vaccinated. Pick your choice, right? Because it's not going to go away. It's going to come back in the fall. So are we going to re-shut down again? Think about that. Now, I want to show you the study that proves that we're looking at a 1 to 3% kill rate. Okay, how do we know this? Right now, officially, it's at 3 something to 5, right? Scary. So, Southern California study on coronavirus kill rate. All right. BuzzFeed. Scientists are mad. Let's see. We'll read. BuzzFeed is garbage, but let's read this one and see. It's the first one that came up. But scientists are skeptical. See, they're trying to downplay it. Over the last week, 2 overlapping teams of scientists in California, which normally they'd be propping them up. Look, look, right? Smart people from California, they're telling us this. Released the first results of big antibody surveys to determine how many people have already been infected. Their estimates were jaw-dropping. In Silicon Valley, the true number of coronavirus infections could be 50 to 85 times higher than the reported ones. So the way you get your kill rate is you divide it. You just flip it in reverse. So 50 to 80 times lower than what we're being told, right? Potentially. And in Los Angeles County, there may be 28 to 55 times more people affected than officially. So that says, but the new numbers out of Northern California suggest that the virus may kill a much smaller portion of the wider pool of diagnosed and undiagnosed cases. In this case, around 0.12 to 0.2. That would be closer to the death rate for the flu, which is about 0.1. Now they're calling out right-wing and libertarian sites immediately seize on the findings, arguing that the economic shutdown has not been worth the public health gains. Right? So here comes the lamestream fake news to try to scare you. The proof's in the pudding. All right? How many more studies do we have to see? There were just those 2. There were actually other ones done, right? There are other stories I can show you because I try to pay attention to things, and I actually have a decent memory. So most of this is just from memory. There was another study where they did random tests. I think they did 200-300, and then like almost a third of them, or a huge portion of them, were actually infected. But the problem is they did, what would you say? They were anonymous. So they just took a little print pick or a blood sample, or they did something from 300 anonymous people and found out there were way more infected than they thought. So like I said, the kill rate is super low. Our economy's crashing, oil prices crashing, and housing market's going to crash. We're all stressed out, stuck in our homes, can't fish, can't get out on the lakes, can't do what we love, can't take our kids to the park over what? The common flu. So either there is misinformation and a bunch of huge mistakes that if this information does come out and this is all true, people are going to want heads to roll. All right, either that or there's something crazy going on, something getting set up. We're getting set up for World War III, martial law. I don't know. Look at the other news. Iran and U.S. and the Strait of Hormuz and the Persian Gulf, and how Trump said that he's going to blast down any ships messing with the Navy, and then Iran responded, well, we're going to blast down any Americans messing with us. And I do also want to point out, Trump, you did do something or say something stupid. You don't shoot down a boat. That's an airplane, moron. You sink a boat. Anyways, so I do support Trump, but that was dumb. You don't shoot down a boat. I had to call that out. That just pet peeve. You don't shoot down a boat. So anyways, look at China, South China Sea, what's going on there with us sending a strike force and China sending an aircraft carrier. Russia's been really quiet. That's the one you really got to worry about. China's got a gang of people, but Russia's got a gang of arsenal as well. All right, so them combined be a really nasty threat. And you've also got Iran in the Middle East to steer things up, and you got Venezuela and some South American countries that may also be on board with that side. So the world is not looking to be in a great place. So either there's two possibilities. We're being set up for martial law and World War III, which is the much less likely scenario. Occam's razor, right? Don't attribute something to malice that can just be plain stupidity, or there's just a bunch of misinformation. People are making dumb decisions, and we screwed our entire economy and the future generations over the common flu. I actually find that hard to believe. I lean more towards there's something else going on. I don't know what, but you can't argue with the facts. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.